So after some brainstorming and some thinking about the Roman Colosseum, I was looking at this thing over and over and over again, and I already made a statement that this thing's not meant for, it wasn't a stadium, folks. It wasn't a stadium. There was something bigger for this purpose, and I think I figured it out. So before I go there, look at the size of these people versus this opening, right? Look at the size of these people versus the opening. This was meant for giants. But let's get back to topic. So I was looking around. I think I already did a video on this, and I just figured out what this thing is. So as you know, these guys, these beings, they use atmospheric energy, water-based energy, magnetic energy, ground energy, sound energy, right? So I think this was some sort of energy device. I think that's what it is. It's an energy device. And then when I came to that thought, then I came to this conclusion. What this really is another Babylon Tower or volcano. These volcanoes all around the world are actually these kind of towers, right? And I think that's what this thing was. I think they were in the middle of creating this thing as a mini arc reactor or something like that, right? They were, you know, the volcanoes. You know how big the volcanoes were, right? Those were either power stations or something else, right? And I think this was the purpose of this. It was a power station, folks. I think that's what I'm coming to. Is this was a power station? It wasn't a stadium. It wasn't anything to do with people going in there and out. I think this was a mini, so-called Babylon Tower, but I think it was a quote-unquote power station or volcano, right? So that's my conclusion. I think that's what it is. I think that's what this thing was. And then the big X factor happened, and then it blew, melted sections of this and such, right? So yeah, this was nothing to do with stadium, folks. It has nothing to do with people dying and getting killed by lions and gladiators, right? This was something to do with energy, right? Atmospheric energy, water-based energy, magnetic, ground, or sound energy, right? I think that's what this thing was. So back in 2010, I visited Rome. Actually, 2012 and 2010, I visited Rome. I took some photos with my DSLR. So let's take a look at some of these photos I took. So this was around the structure of the Colosseum, and you see these. You see here. You see this. Look at the bricks, folks. So this was around the structure of the Colosseum. I think if you've been to Rome, you've seen this before. And take a look at this. Why is this opening like this, right? Why is there these two giant openings and two giant openings here? It doesn't make sense, right? This doesn't make sense. Why would they do that? Right? So let's go to the next one. Photo. It's the same section, but this is the bigger section of it. This funny is, look at this. They try to patch this up with some concrete here. Real funny. Okay, so yeah, let's go to the next photo. So here's the side of the Colosseum, right? You see, look at the bricks. Look at the brick lines. What's funny is I think the government's patched this side up with concrete blocks. Look at this. It doesn't even match this, right? Look at this. You have this section, but then you have this section look like concrete blocks. It doesn't even match this. This section right here should look like this. So let's go to the next photo. So this is a good, interesting photo I took. You see the red bricks, and what do you see here? The expansion from the heat event, the X Factor event. All these bricks were starting to melt, bubble outwards and marshmallow outwards, right? And started, changing to this, right? To concrete. I mean, to rock, like in my previous videos you've seen, right? See, look, you see here, you don't see any stadium seating, right? I think this was a Babylon Tower they're doing. That's what they're doing, folks. They were doing a Babylon Tower, a mini Babylon Tower. Let's go back. That's my conclusion. I think that's what it is. This thing was a an energy generator. Probably a good chance it was an energy generator. So here's more of a photo. Look at the size of these openings versus the people, right? Look at this. Look at the size of these openings. These like 20 feet high versus the people here. Look at that. It's all heat damage right here. Heat damage. All this heat damage. That's a better photo. And down here, look at that, all the bricks, folks. Look at all the bricks. Yeah, this was nothing to do with the stadium, folks. It has nothing to do with the stadium. I think this was some sort of reactor they were producing in the middle of the city. A mini reactor, a mini Babylon Tower or volcano, as you claim. There's a close-up photo of the bricks. This is funny. Look at this. Look at the government's trying to, patch it up in this section with concrete blocks. Doesn't even match. Sad. You can see the heat damage right here. See the heat damage? The bubbling outwards? You see the bricks here, the normal bricks, and then you see these bricks been damaged. All heat damage, folks. It's a better... This is the underside of the stadium. Well, not stadium, but the Colosseum. You see all the bricks. Everything was bricks, folks. Everything. 12 miles deep, bricks. Bricks everywhere. Heat damage. Heat damage. Another side. It's all bricks, folks. Look at it. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 20 layers maybe of bricks. Look at the heat damage here. The heat damage. Look at the heat damage. You see this section's all rock now. This used to be brick. See? Look very closely, folks. Look very closely. Inside one of those openings. This opening was huge, folks. I remember this. Yep. So if you look at this is a very good photo. Look at this sections all look like rock, right? That you see on a mountain. You see this on a mountain, but no, it's really a structure. Everything was a structure, folks. Everything was a structure. I think the lie they tell us was Rome was burnt down. Okay, if it was burnt down, then how do these go on fire, right? How do bricks go on fire if Rome was on fire, right? Look at the heat damage, folks. It didn't occur to me until now. Look at the heat damage. It was melting. It was melting this way. Like a blowtorch hitting it. Look at the heat damage. And look how perfectly aligned these sections are. Like I said, I mentioned in my previous video, a human being didn't do this. A machine didn't do this. We're in a simulation. And this is proof of it. Look how many bricks. I don't know how many bricks they used for this thing. That fort in the Florida Keys is 15 million bricks. This dwarfs it. I'm telling you right now, this thing dwarfs it. Look at the heat damage down here. Look at the heat damage. This is all rock now. These used to be bricks. I hope you share this with everybody. I think I figured out what this thing is. This Colosseum, it was not a Colosseum, folks. It was a reactor or something. Some sort of energy device. That's what it is, folks. Energy device. It's more of the inside, down here below, right? Look at that. You can pause the video if you want. I'm just going through it quickly. And look at the brick lines here. All perfectly straight, all uniform. They tell you the Romans did this, right? The Roman lie. All of history is a lie. Same thing. More of the interior. Down below. Even down here, you can see the land down here is all bricks. See the bricks? You can see the bricks down there. Yeah, I think this was an energy device, folks. Some sort of reactor, arc reactor. This whole thing was a giant arc reactor. Look at all the openings here. Why would they have all these openings underground? That doesn't make sense. Unless it was moving energy around, like maybe atmospheric energy or sound energy, right? Or ground energy. Something's going on here, folks. Something really fishy. This is a funny one. Look at this. This is sad. This is pretty sad. The governments are trying to cover it up. right? With these concrete blocks. These added. Look at this. This doesn't even match here. Look at this part right here. Why is there cylinders up here versus the rectangle blocks, right? Yeah, they try to patch this up. They really try to patch it up. This section should look like this section, but it doesn't. They try to patch it up and try to hide it. They try to hide the truth, folks. Close look at the bricks. Look how uniform these bricks are. Look how uniform these bricks are. No errors anywhere, folks. No errors. Again with the concrete blocks here. They put the concrete blocks here. Look at all the bricks. Look at all the bricks. I think I showed you this photo already. More of the ground level. Look at that. This thing was starting to bubble outwards. It was starting to, heat damage, bubble outwards. Amazing. Look at that. Amazing. Look at that brick right there. This is like a wide angle look. Just look at the damage. I think this was they were intended. This thing was intended to go higher, much higher. It looked like it was in the middle of a process of being built higher. Look at that. And I think that's it. Same thing. Okay, so in the next photos I'm going to show you is from France. It's deep underground in France. Look at the brick layers, folks. Look at the brick layers. This thing went down 12 miles deep. All these structures went down 12 miles deep. Look at the brick layers. And see, you have the caves here, but look here. Same bricks. Same bricks. You can see the archways. Look at the brick layers here, folks. Look at the brick layer here. See the bricks? So everything was bricks. 12 miles deep of bricks. Same thing. The same architecture of the Colosseum in everywhere around the world. Look at that. This is not from France, but this is somewhere else. I think this is USA somewhere. Same thing. Look at the bricks. Everywhere. The bricks are everywhere. Same thing. You can see heat damage here. The heat damage. This part survived from the X Factor event. Same thing. These are excavators. They found this. Bricks. Look at the perfect line bricks. Same thing. A tunnel. Put bricks. Look at the ceiling. Bricks everywhere. And that's it, folks. And yeah. My conclusion is the Roman Colosseum wasn't a stadium. It was another Babylon Tower in the making, which is really, in today's volcanoes, right? Actually, look at this Babylon Tower. See this? Look at the openings, right? And look at the openings. Same thing. Same thing, folks. Same thing. This was some sort of energy generator, right? These things, an energy generator or some sort of generating energy. And this was a mini reactor. What they were doing, most likely, it was a mini reactor.